It is always a pleasure to have you on board. Welcome to the bold, authoritative and incisive bulletin. You're watching Maisha Prime News. This is Maisha Television. Our aim is to inform and educate you on stories making headlines in the country and beyond. Here are the top stories. Tonight,
tukuje pamoja tufanyie vyama zetu kazi, na kwa sababu tuko kwa mrengo wa opposition, tunajua kwamba ni sisi tunaweza sukuma maendeleo kufanyika katika kaunti ya Kakamega.
I, Cosmas Kignetich Korir, having been elected as Speaker of the County Assembly of the Met.
Also tonight,
the office of the senator should be well capacitated in terms of requisite human and technical resources and expertise. As we observed during the initial orientation, the Parliamentary Service Commission has ensured that the Senate has qualified professional team of qualified and competent staff.
Plus,
when it does come, we'll give it a reasoned approach and communicate to the parties involved. I'm sure it's not a difficult thing to decide. When it comes, we'll look at the law, we'll look at the constitution, we'll look at the standing orders, and we'll make a decision.
welcome. I'm Chebet Kering Reader. Let's get into it. Kenya Kwanza Alliance, affiliated with President William Ruto, has suffered a setback in its bid to control both Parliament and the Senate after the registrar of political parties clarified that decamped parties were still members of the Azimio la Umoja coalition. In the letter forwarded to speakers of both houses, the registrar of political parties and Ritu stated that Maendeleo Chapchap MCC and Pamoja African Alliance PAA were not recognized members of Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Maendeleo Chapchap is led by former Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua, while Senate Speaker Amason Kingi leads Pamoja African Alliance. Chepchumba Sharon brings us that story.
The battle of which political party or a coalition should take up the majority space in the National Assembly is likely to affect the constitution of House committees, as Speaker Moses Wetangula must first make a ruling on the matter.
Order, honorable members.
On September 7th, 2022, the Registrar of Political Parties wrote to the National Assembly clarifying the status of each party in the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party and the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. In a document seen by Maisha TV, all the 26 political parties that form Azimio are still intact in the coalition, with Kenya Kwanza having 15 parties. Registrar of Political Parties and Ritu further clarified to Parliament that NOPEU is not a member of a coalition, but the one member is allied to Azimio. The registrar pointed out that Dr. Alfred Mutua's Maendeleo Chapchap and Amason Kingi's Pamoja African Alliance are not recognized members of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance and are still listed as Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party members, despite decamping before the August 9th polls. UDM and MDG have, alongside PA and MCC parties, filed constitutional petition against their membership in Azimio.
I don't have a legal agreement between me as UDM and Azimio, because we don't have any document in our record.
If you ask me as the party leader of PA, I will tell you legally I belong to the Kenya Kwanza coalition, and I'll give you the legal basis.
As it stands, UDA is the largest party in the National Assembly with 144 members, followed by ODM with 88 members. Jubilee Party is the third largest party in the chambers with 27 members, while Wiper has 26. All the other parties have less than 10 members. Article 108 of the Constitution establishes the office of the Majority and Minority Leader. The Majority Leader is the leader in the National Assembly of the largest party or a coalition of parties, while the leader of the minority will be the leader of the second largest party or a coalition of parties. Azimio boasts of being the majority party, while Kenya Kwanza says it has reaped big from the post-election defections to give them a majority of members.
Our friends on the other side will choose the leaders of the minority because they are the minority. They just have to live with the reality that they are the minority. Let us not have an unnecessary contest as to which side is the majority.
For the avoidance of doubt, Azimio Oka is legally and legitimately the majority coalition in the National Assembly. This is not a matter for determination by any individual or office. It is simple arithmetic. And so, to settle this matter and put the record straight once and for all, members of Parliament belonging to the Azimio Oka coalition have been properly advised to take up majority roles and responsibilities in and out of the National Assembly chamber.
What stands in the way is the Azimio One Kenya Coalition Party Agreement. The agreement seen by Maisha TV in Article 22 says, and I quote, "Any party may withdraw from this coalition agreement upon giving 90 days notice to the Coalition Council of its intention to withdraw from the coalition party." The agreement deposited with the Registrar of Political Parties further says, no party may withdraw from the coalition 6 months before the August 2022 general election or within 3 months after the date of the said general election. The UDM party has moved to court through Lungalunga Member of Parliament Mangale Chiforomondo, who says, and I quote, "I particularly take issue with the provision of Article 22(2) of the coalition agreement, which curtails my freedom of association and my political rights to negotiate and join a coalition until the lapse of 3 months after the date of the August 2022 general elections." National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula will have to make the decision on the dispute in the House, yet he too is a product of the numbers that are in dispute.
When it does come, we'll give it a reasoned approach and communicate to the parties involved. I'm sure it's not a difficult thing to decide. When it comes, we'll look at the law, we'll look at the constitution, we'll look at the standing orders, and we'll make a decision.
Kikuyu Member of Parliament Kimani Chungwa is set to battle it out with Ugunja Member of Parliament Opio Wandai, who was fronted by Azimio.
There is no determination to be made. The matter is already settled, as I've said. What the Speaker will be doing essentially is to simply convey the information contained in the advisory from the Registrar of Political Parties.
Early this year, the Handshake Brothers forced through amendments of the Political Parties Act in Parliament, and they created what was a coalition political party. Azimio One Kenya Alliance became a coalition political party. Today, as we speak, Azimio One Kenya Alliance political party is not a parliamentary party. It doesn't have a single member of parliament. Therefore, you go back to the default settings of either looking at whether we have a coalition of parties with a high number of seats, that will be the majority. Azimio One Kenya is not a coalition of political parties, it is a coalition political party. Kenya Kwanza is a coalition of political parties with close to 190 members of parliament, which is a majority.
Kulingana na ile ukora imeendelea ya kitaifa na ya kikura, kutakuwa bado ukora zaidi utaendeshwa na maspika wote wawili pale mbungeni.
Waache kasumba yao ya kujipiga kifua kwamba wao ndio majority. Na hii si mara yao ya kwanza kujigamba. Walijigamba wakapeleka hewa katika mahakama kuu, lakini wewe mwenyewe ukiangalia hata kama hawakuweza kushinda kiti kimoja peke yake katika bunge la Senate na ile ya National Assembly, wagani ndio wacha.
Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Sharon Chepchumba.
Thank you so much, Chepchumba Sharon. Now let's move to the induction of senators. Senate Speaker Amason Kingi has committed to ensuring that senators of the 13th Parliament are well facilitated for them to be able to perform their duties effectively. Kingi, who on Tuesday acknowledged that the oversight role of the senators was a weighty constitutional mandate pledged to engage all relevant agencies with the view of making the life of senators easy. The Salaries and Remuneration Commission (SRC) in its July 2022 review of the remuneration and benefits of state officers announced the abolishment of sitting allowances, car grants and transport mileage of the lawmakers. Nerima Wekesa reports.
Being the second day of the retreat, senators continues with their induction of 5 days in Naivasha, Nakuru County. The retreat was officially opened by the Speaker of the Senate, Amason Kingi, on Tuesday.
The Deputy Speaker, Senator Kathuri Murungi, the host Senator, Senator Tabitha Karanja, governors present, honorable senators, distinguished development partners, resource persons, the clerk and the staff of the Senate, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Indeed, it is a great pleasure for me to be part of this distinguished gathering to address you and officially open the 4th Senate induction retreat as your Speaker. This event marks our very first activity in capacity development programs for honorable senators. May I therefore take this opportunity to congratulate you once again for your successful election and inauguration to the 4th Senate and the 13th Parliament of the Republic of Kenya. Honorable senators, I welcome you all to this very important induction retreat, whose theme is understanding the mandate of the Senate, strengthening devolution through legislative effectiveness. The main purpose of this workshop is to equip and empower honorable senators with knowledge and vital information that are essential in discharging their mandates and functions in the Senate and its committees. It will further enable senators to understand the workings and the key legislative processes within the bicameral setup of our Parliament, the mandate of the Parliamentary Service Commission, amenities and entitlements available to honorable senators, the Senate's role in advancing intergovernmental relations, and earlier how it relates with other constitutional commissions and independent officers as well as non-state actors in the devolution space. During the induction period, honorable senators will also benefit from special sessions on Kenya's foreign policy and national security, including media relations and public awareness.
Senators have decried law funding that has made it difficult to execute their oversight role. They said they need resources to ensure prudent use of revenue allocated to the counties. Senate Speaker Amason Kingi said that for years the House had been underfunded, adversely affecting the role of members. He was, however, quick to warn that they were not calling for an increase in their allowances.
That comes with huge expectations and requires that you be accorded the necessary financial support and material facilitation in order to successfully execute the onerous task that also entails traversing your counties to regularly evaluate the impact of devolution and identify areas that may require legislative intervention. To this extent, I undertake to robustly and as a matter of urgency engage all the relevant stakeholders, including government agencies concerned, with a view to putting in place a system that ensures honorable senators are sufficiently facilitated in order for you to discharge your oversight responsibilities.
There have been calls from some quarters that legislators' packs should be reviewed. The concerns emerged months after the Salary and Remuneration Commission (CRC) scrapped the allowances for parliamentarians. Kingi said he had an engagement with Wetangula where it was agreed that the two houses will consult and work together. Deputy Speaker Kathuri Murungi said he was keen to strengthen the leadership of the Senate by engaging experts.
The office of the senator should be well capacitated in terms of requisite human and technical resources and expertise. As we observed during the initial orientation, the Parliamentary Service Commission has ensured that the Senate has qualified professional team of qualified and competent staff led by the clerk of the Senate. This team will undoubtedly be complementary to the rich and diverse professional experience that each member brings to the Senate.
Nerima Wekesa, Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
And away from the country now, the exiled Kenyan lawyer Miguna, who has been living in Canada after his dramatic deportation in 2018, says he has received his Kenyan passport following a directive from President William Ruto. Miguna took to his social media accounts to state that he is now waiting for the government to lift the red alert advisory it issued to airlines not to carry him back to the country. The self-declared National Resistance Movement NRM leader was deported in March 2018 after swearing in then opposition leader Raila Odinga as the people's president. Millicent Luamba Udmo.
Exiled Kenyan lawyer Miguna, who has been living in Canada after his dramatic deportation in 2018, says he has received his Kenyan passport following a directive from President William Ruto. Miguna took to his social media accounts to state that he is now waiting for the government to lift the red alert advisory it issued to the airlines not to carry him back to the country. Miguna said 1,687 days after Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, Fred Matiang'i, Karanja Kibicho and Gordon Kihalangwa conspired to illegally seize and destroy his Kenyan passport, President William Ruto has had a new one delivered to him and he is waiting for the lifting of the red alerts. The self-declared National Resistance Movement NRM leader was deported in March 2018 after swearing in the opposition leader Raila Odinga as the people's president.
In full realization of the high calling, assumed the office of the People's President of the Republic of Kenya. So help me God.
Miguna had earlier in September written to the head of public service Joseph Kinyua demanding facilitation to travel to Nairobi for President William Ruto's swearing in, which was held on September 13th. In November 2021, Miguna's plan to travel back to Kenya hit a dead end after Air France declined to fly him over a red alert.
I'm not going. I'm not going. Where are my luggage? Where is my passport? I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. The captain cannot fly. The captain cannot fly. Put that phone down. The captain cannot fly. The captain cannot fly.
The outspoken lawyer had secured several court orders directing the government to provide him with a new Kenyan passport after security agencies defaced his passport following his arrest and subsequent deportation in 2018.
These are the court orders, read them. These court orders say I must be in this country. Yeah.
Why are they not allowing you to?
Because of politics. They are scared of me. Now you, as a captain, is not allowed to fly me anywhere against my will. First of all, I don't have a passport. Secondly, I didn't book your plane. Thirdly, I don't have status in Dubai. So how am I going to go to Dubai? I don't live in Dubai. I don't work in Dubai. I have no connections to Dubai. So I'm not going to Dubai. Let them kill me. That's fine. Let them kill me. That's what they want. Let them go ahead and do it.
Kenya Kwanza allies want outgoing Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i to be compelled to pay the exiled lawyer Miguna 7 million shillings as ordered by the court. Lawyer Nelson Harvey led the claimer, arguing that the High Court directed the CS and the Director of Criminal Investigation DCI, George Kinoti, to pay Miguna's damages for the countless times they disregarded orders issued to facilitate the activist's return. The new development came minutes after Miguna was issued a new passport as proposed by President William Ruto's administration. Earlier, the Canadian-based lawyer shared an image of his new passport, ascertaining that his return to the country after 4 years of being in exile was one order away. Miguna thanked President Ruto and made a snide comment against the retired head of state Uhuru Kenyatta and opposition leader Raila Odinga, who accused of frustrating his return home. On September 13th, Miguna announced that the red alerts that had been issued against him would eventually be lifted. Ruto had vowed to bring back the exiled lawyer after assuming office, saying that Miguna is a Kenyan and if there is a crime he committed, there are laws in place for him to be tried against.
Miguna tutamrejesha nyumbani mara moja kwa sababu ni Mkenya, ndio hajafanya, hana hatia yoyote, na hata kama ako na hatia yoyote aletwe nyumbani. Kuna sheria ambayo atakabiliana nayo. Mimi sioni haja ya kuwa na wakimbizi wa kutoka nchi zingine Kenya. Na tuko na mmoja wetu Mkenya amefanywa mkimbizi kule Canada.
Miguna was barred from returning to Kenya despite the court directing Matiang'i and his foreign affairs counterpart Rachel Omamo to issue him emergency travel documents at the Kenya High Commissions in Canada or Germany. The court further ruled that his Kenyan identity card could not be used as a travel document. Matiang'i had asked Miguna to fill out a one-page document for citizenship re-registration, arguing that the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution scrapped dual citizenship. Millicent Luamba, Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
Thank you, Millicent Luamba. Well, remember President Ruto had promised to allow Miguna back to the country if he wins the elections. Seems like he's keeping his word. And now President William Ruto has said that he is looking forward to establishing new relationships and strategic partnerships with the United States business community to enhance Kenya's economic and social transformation. Speaking on Wednesday in New York City at a high-level business roundtable hosted by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce on trade and investment relationships between Kenya and the U.S., Dr. Ruto said that Kenya is ready for investment, having demonstrated her democratic maturity in the recent elections. In the meeting, participants explored ways in which the U.S. business community can partner with Kenyan industries to achieve the president's vision and development agenda. Dr. Ruto further held business meetings about fertilizer production and green energy to enhance Kenya's agricultural production, create jobs, and develop a more resilient economy. He was also a guest of honor at the Africa Investment Partnership Forum hosted by the United Nations Development Program. The evening's discussion centered on moving Africa from aid to investment. Also participating in the meeting were leaders from the private sector, international development organizations, and diplomats.
Secretary President, Mr. Secretary General, how are you? Nice to see you. My pleasure. Thank you very much. And thank you for putting. Mr. Secretary General, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's go in.
Back to the country now. Members of county assemblies, MCAs countrywide began electing speakers on Tuesday. The exercise was a bag of mixed fortunes, with former members of parliament, women, and some incumbents being declared winners. Stakes was so high in some county assemblies, with cases of violence, intense lobbying, and bribery being reported. In the run-up to the elections, governors worked hard, including taking the members of county assemblies for retreats in a bid to whip them. Chepchumba Sharon with more.
Members of the county assemblies countrywide began electing speakers on Tuesday 20th. Stakes were so high in some county assemblies, with cases of violence, intense lobbying, and bribery being reported. The position of speaker comes with massive powers, making it attractive to candidates and competitive.
Honorable members, the next category are...
On Tuesday, Kisumu County elected Elisha Jack Oraro of the Orange Democratic Movement Party as the third speaker of Kisumu County Assembly. The election came despite threats by a section of MCA to boycott. The MCAs wanted to boycott after 4 nominated MCA were sworn in, despite a court order filed by ODM.
We are going to proceed.
In Trans Nzoia County, former Finance Secretary Andrew Wanyonyi was elected as the new County Assembly Speaker, defeating former Cherang'any Member of Parliament Wesley Korir.
To support our executive, His Excellency George Natembeya, he sold his manifesto to our people in the county, and our role is going to just assist him on oversight matters and help him achieve his objectives. So to the people of Trans Nzoia, expect good tidings, and our MCAs and our staff, better days are ahead.
Tumeweza kuapishwa na hata nimekuwa na furaha kuingia kwa county assembly. Nimeona hali vile inaendelea na nina imani ya kwamba sasa tutaanza kuingisha miswada.
Baada ya kuwa nje karibu kwa miaka 5, ninataka kumwambia tu ya kwamba nitamfanyia maendeleo zaidi, kwa sababu lengo langu sio hapa kama MCA. Kuna mahali pengine ambayo ninajua mtanielekeza.
In Siaya County, George Okende retained his seat after garnering 38 votes against his competitor Evans Orwenjo, who got only 2 votes. Okode was first elected as the Speaker of Siaya County in 2013 with his victory.
I want to assure you that I know we have a duty to check the executive. Under my leadership, that the executive will be checked with decorum and within the law. What the executive wants with us, for us, we will want with them for them. As long as we have a symbiotic relationship.
In Kakamega, James Namati has been elected as new county speaker. Giving his speech upon election, the new speaker said that he shall ensure that all businesses are executed with the observance of assembly standing orders.
As you can see, we are sitting under a monument that should be serving as a county museum. 10 years into devolution into Kenya, that should not be the case. We are going to build a ultra-modern house that deserves the stature of Kakamega Assembly. Honorable members, we must pursue the route that will enhance dignity, equity, equality, unity, inclusivity, and gender empowerment, key pillars for a transformative society. As our leader, I give you a rallying call.
Sisi kama assembly tunataka independence yetu kwa masuala inayohusu county assembly na ile inahusu tena wananchi wa Kakamega. Independence yetu kama sisi MCS tunasema ya kwamba hatutashurudishwa, hatutakuwa blackmailed, hatutakuwa intimidated na hatutakuwa dictated na governor kwa chochote ambacho hakitakuwa kina manufaa kwa wananchi wa kaunti ya Kakamega.
Tukuje pamoja tufanyie vyama zetu kazi, na kwa sababu tuko kwa mrengo wa opposition, tunajua kwamba ni sisi tunaweza sukuma maendeleo kufanyika katika kaunti ya Kakamega.
In Bungoma, Emmanuel Situma retained his seat as second speaker of Bungoma County Assembly.
Honorable members, the next category are
Cosmas Korir, winner of the 208 million SportPesa mega jackpot, has been elected Speaker of the Bomet County. Cosmas was elected as the Assembly's fourth Speaker after garnering 32 votes. Former Kipsonoi Ward Member of County Assembly Weldon Kurui coming in second with 6 votes.
I, Cosmas Kipnetich Korir, having been elected as Speaker of the County Assembly of Bomet.
In Nakuru, Joel Karuri has been elected as Nakuru County Assembly third Speaker after 50 MCAs out of 75 MCA voted in favor of him.
As we open a new chapter, I invite you to join hands with me as I seek to steer this house in the way forward. The third assembly is sitting in a very interesting time. Devolution is now getting entrenched in our governance structure. Having been ushered in 2013, the system has now become of age.
Advocate Ann Kiusia is the new Machakos County Assembly Speaker. She was overwhelmed voted in for garnering 51 votes against 9 votes in favor of the former Speaker Bernard Mungata.
I assure this House that I will uphold the rules of law as prescribed in various statutes, and in the same way I appeal for teamwork so that the Assembly can effectively execute its mandate.
During the campaigns and all that, it was really hard to convince the electorate that our work is to legislate, oversight, and just passing just the laws and all that. It was such a hard task because they know that we must be able to do something, either the road constructions, water dams, electricity, and all that. It has been such a hard task being to convince them that this has to come either from the government, and we still have the county government. We have the executive part of it. So I'd like to request, if that is possible, it will help us to be able to develop the community from the ground up going up, because these are the people we interact with on a daily basis.
Ile jambo ambao tunaomba ni katika wafanye kazi na wale ma MCA, sababu MCA ni yeye mtu kwa pale chini kabisa, na ni mtu ambaye anaunganisha mwenye nchi ambaye ako pale chini kabisa.
Other speakers elected included Isiolo County Assembly Muhammad Roba, 4th Speaker of Nyamira County Enoch Okere, 3rd Speaker of Wajir County Abdile Yusuf, Taita Taveta County Assembly Wisdom Kazungu Mwanaburi, and Muranga County Assembly Johnson Mukuha.
Julius Muteti Muremi.
In accordance to the Constitution of Kenya.
Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Sharon Chepchumba.
All right, let's take a short commercial break. More news coming up.
strong woman knows she has strength enough for the journey. But a woman of strength knows it is in the journey where she will become strong. Join Irene Mumbo Bushebi and Rida Kering on Prime Women Talk every Wednesday from 8 p.m. exclusive to MTV.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Is live at Hammersmith.
Barcelona is live from Damascus.
We're on the doorstep. For Maisha TV.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
Trusted news, trusted sources, trusted dissemination of information.
Protect by all available means our territory.
Parliament must be careful.
Maisha Prime News, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Trusted, unbiased, authoritative. The stage is set. The time is now. Credible news. It is Prime News. Only on Maisha TV. Prepare for the beast. Informative. Authoritative. Unbiased. Welcome to Maisha News.
Take away the noise.
We are here to inform and educate you on all that is happening around you.
The Fury. Hello and thank you so much for joining us from wherever you are. The fighting voices, the distortions, the color and the flashy effects. But most of all, you can take away the lights. The misrepresentation that seeks to pull us apart, and then you can finally find out what is actually happening. And when you find that, then you will find Maisha Prime News, trusted, unbiased, authoritative.
It is a season of seriousness, and only the serious presenters come onto your screen.
Maisha Prime News and Maisha Prime Morning Edition. My hustle, my story. Maisha Prime Weekend.
Rida Kering Chibet, Millicent Makoha, Brian Gad. Only on Maisha TV. The stage is set. The time is now. Credible news. It is Prime News. Only on Maisha TV. Prepare for the beast. Informative. Authoritative. Unbiased. Welcome to Maisha News. When it comes to technical training and research in science, technology and innovation, you can trust Matili Technical Training Institute, whether it's certificate or diploma in institutional management, automotive engineering, mechanical engineering courses, electrical and electronics engineering, information and communication technology, building construction and civil engineering, business studies, among many. We provide the best practical training and theoretical knowledge. Our exams is from the trusted examination bodies, among them NITA, KASNEB, NEC, among others. The government provides 30,000 shillings for capitation, and of 26,000 shillings remaining, needy students can acquire HELB loan. To apply for admission at Matili Technical College, visit our website www.matilitechnical.ac.ke. You can also call us on 0721 664 708 or 0724 402 786. You can also send your application to PO Box 765204, Kimilili, Matili Technical Training Institute, located in Kimilili constituency in Bungoma. Matili Technical Training Institute, a center of excellence in mechanical engineering.
Welcome and thank you for staying with Maisha Prime News. Failure by former President Uhuru Kenyatta and now Kenya leader Martha Karua to deliver sufficient votes in Mount Kenya and President William Ruto's inroads in Western are among the reasons why Raila Odinga is perceived to have lost the presidency. Mr. Odinga's fifth stab at the presidency was also jeopardized by failure to have agents in certain zones, a situation an official in his campaign team blamed on last-minute interference with arrangements to deploy agents across over 46,000 polling stations. Let's have a look. In his fifth and possibly last bid for president, Raila Odinga failed to enthuse a crucial block of voters in his own backyard that would have catapulted him to the top job.
You're on fire! You're on fire!
For decades, Kenya's veteran opposition politician Raila Odinga has been the chief political power broker in the western counties.
Ruto! Wetangula!
With ethnicity shaping Kenyan politics for decades, Raila has always relied on his fellow Luo ethnic voters to back him in 5 successive elections for president. However, of the 2,161,262 registered voters in the 4 Nyanza counties of Migori, Homa Bay, Kisumu and Siaya counties, only 1,559,244 cast their ballots. The turnout in the Rift Valley and Mount Kenya regions was at 75.6% and 66% respectively, compared to 72% in the Nyanza region. In this year's election, failure by former President Uhuru Kenyatta and now Kenya leader Martha Karua to deliver sufficient votes in Mount Kenya and President William Ruto's inroads in Western are touted as some of the reasons why Raila Odinga lost the presidency.
Tuambie watu wetu ukweli na tusiwaogope. Ukiogopa wale ambao unaongoza, wewe sio kiongozi. Kiongozi anasema ukweli, anasema haki kulingana vile ilivyo.
Matters were compounded by the strange turnout that saw the veteran opposition leader lose his traditional base by running as the establishment candidate, while Dr. Ruto disowned Jubilee government failures and successfully cast himself as the change champion and voice of the marginalized.
Nyinyi tayari mumejipanga ama nyinyi ni wale wa kupangwa?
With former allies becoming rivals, Mr. Odinga, who was supported by President Uhuru Kenyatta, gave President Ruto an opportunity to take chunks of vote from the ODM's both strongholds of Western, Lower Eastern and Coast regions.
We are not playgrounds for anybody. We are not the undecided, neither are we the fill-ups of other people's half-empty cups.
Lakini umetuambia tulete kura 70%. Mimi nikasema huyu Mheshimiwa Ruto kwani anadharau sisi aje?
In the 6 coastal counties of Mombasa, Kwale, Kilifi, Tana River, Lamu and Taita Taveta, President Ruto garnered 336,478 votes, about 35% compared to 287,561 votes, that is 26% Jubilee got in the region in 2017. With the help of the likes of Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua and UDA Chairman Johnson Muthama, President Ruto garnered 250,070 votes in Machakos, Kitui and Makueni County, which is 24.1% compared to 192,646,000 votes, which accounts to 16.6% Jubilee had in 2017. After ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi and his Ford Kenya counterpart Moses Wetangula ditched Raila, Ruto made serious inroads in Western, which had voted overwhelmingly for Mr. Odinga since 2007. Ruto received 630,282 votes in the 5 Western counties of Busia, Kakamega, Vihiga, Bungoma and Trans Nzoia counties in his presidential bid, an impressive improvement on the 352,877 votes he garnered with President Kenyatta in 2017. Pundits attribute Dr. Ruto's impressive performance in the Western region to the political divorce between Mr. Odinga and his former NASA core principals. However, as Azimio la Umoja One Kenya leader Raila Odinga's supporters come to terms with his presidential loss, blame games have ensued on how his campaigns and vote protection strategies were handled. Some of the members of the Raila Odinga Presidential Secretariat, which was tasked with implementing strategic and key decisions, have come under sharp focus as Azimio devotees lick their wounds following the shock loss of the election to President William Ruto. Further still, some key lieutenants of Mr. Odinga have pointed the finger at the coalition party's top decision-making organ, the council chaired by former President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Huyu anatoka Mombasa.
Following the former Prime Minister's defeat, bitter exchanges have dominated his camp. Some of the key figures who have suffered attacks, mainly on social media, are Sonar East Member of Parliament Junet Mohammed, who is also the Azimio Secretarial General, former Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho, and Azimio Secretariat CEO Elizabeth Mayo. Mr. Odinga, through his presidential campaign spokesperson Professor Makau Mutua, said his team delivered on their mandate and should not be attacked for his presidential loss. The Azimio officials say the election was mismanaged by the electoral agency, hence the issue of agent deployment does not hold much water. Odinga insisted that the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) did not conduct a free and fair election. He also argues that the Supreme Court judgment was not based on facts and law, even though they accepted it.
You have noticed the attitude, the thuggery, the corruption, and the cynicism of the Supreme Court judges. The words that the Chief Justice used against us have never been used in our courts, even in the dark days of single-party rule and state capture of the judiciary. Chief Justice Martha Koome described our case, presented by the country's finest legal minds, as no more than hot air, a wild goose chase, incredible and hearsay evidence, red herring. These were words of the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya.
You have a role to ensure things go according to the Constitution
that services are delivered promptly.
Former Jubilee-nominated Member of Parliament Maina Kamanda believes Mr. Kenyatta did little to salvage Mr. Odinga's sinking ship, with the Azimio flag bearer virtually playing catch-up with his opponent Dr. Ruto. Some Mount Kenya leaders have also been accused of costing Mr. Odinga the presidency after they refused to campaign for him in his absence.
Sasa imefika ground, tunauza baba kama bangi, kama tumeficha. Si vile tulikuwa tunauza baba kama tumempenda, tukiwa open. Watu kama hawa ambao tunasema na unaongoza hii Jubilee wanauza baba kama bangi kwa mfuko.
Kanini Kega ukimwangalia anaambiwa ni yeye anapigia anaombea Raila kura. And when you look at this, hajaeka picha ya baba katika posta yake. Hii ni posta yake yenye anaweka Keni. Mnaiona? Mnaiona? Na huyu ni yeye, na huyu ni yeye anatupanga huku Nairobi. Na hajui siasa ya Nairobi.
One of the things we want to try and challenge is that we want people to be elected based on their own personal standing, so that you don't get confused. Nani unajificha nyuma ya SG, naweka picha yake kubwa, wewe unaweka yako kidogo. People vote for you because of the SG, then immediately you are voted for, you start
looking for how they are going to challenge the win of Raila Amolo Odinga in court. That is why Maina, the executive director, wrote a letter to Haj. Is it Haj? Yes. BBP. To NIS. Because they are preparing, they know they have lost the 2022.
For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Rida Kering Chebet. Wow, quite some reasons there. And Kenya's Ministry of Health has issued a health alert following the declaration of an Ebola virus resurgence in Uganda. Uganda's health ministry on Tuesday said the outbreak was detected in a village in central Uganda, claiming one life. Due to the porous nature of the Kenya-Uganda border in the western region, Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe on Wednesday noted that there is substantial human traffic between the two countries, which puts Kenya at high risk of Ebola importation. It therefore issued an alert to all counties to be vigilant and enhance surveillance, especially at the border, to activate rapid response teams to support identification of any suspected cases and making prompt reporting in case of any. Already 4.35 million people are in dire need of food, a number that is likely to rise in the coming months, with the drought situation taking the form of vicious annual cycle. Weather and drought experts are calling for an overhaul of the drought response mechanisms. The ongoing drought, the worst in 40 years, has affected 23 counties, out of which 10 are under the alarm drought phase. Stephen Lubanga brings us that story.
With most part of Kenya having not seen a drop of rain in months, it means that about 4.3 people in the country will be in dire need of food by December. The ongoing drought has been the worst in 40 years, has affected 23 counties, out of which 10 are under the alarm drought phase.
In terms of nutrition, there's very serious malnutrition for children under 5. At least 940,000 children under 5 years old are facing acute malnutrition.
According to Dr. Richard Mwita of the Kenya Meteorological Department, the country is now facing the 5th failed rainy season, and this is not a new occurrence, as the perennial history of drought in Kenya dates from as early as 1928. Describing the current dry spell as the new worst in Kenya's history in terms of longevity and severity.
In 1928, we had a very severe drought in Kenya. Then again, 1933 to 1937. In the 50s again, we had some major drought. Since 2016, at least we have had depressed rains almost consecutively.
According to the National Drought Management Authority, the 10 affected counties Laikipia, Tana River, Tharaka Nithi, Isiolo, Mandera, Garissa, Turkana, Wajir, Samburu, and Marsabit. In the 2021-2022 intervention, about 4 billion shillings was spent on safety program, 3.5 billion shillings was spent on emergency relief, and 950 Kenyan shillings was spent on livestock offtake program. Another 446 million shillings was spent on water response activities, 3.2 billion shillings was spent on Inua Jamii program, and 2.2 billion shillings on school fees program. The worsening household food security situation has resulted in acute malnutrition rates across the counties, with 942,000 in children aged between 6 to 59 months acutely malnourished, and 134,000 of lactating mothers being malnourished and in need of treatment. For Maisha Prime News, I'm Lubanga Steven.
Well, allow me to take another short breather. I'll be back with the remaining part of the bulletin. Stay tuned. Are you looking for a reputable technical institution to enhance your technical skills? Look no further. Kongoni Technical and Vocational College is an approved technical training institute by TVETA, a college committed to providing you with quality programs and services that will enhance and enrich your technical hands-on skills to meet societal needs. It is a top-rated technical and vocational college in provision of training, innovation, and action research in Kenya and beyond. We provide quality technical vocational training and research in collaboration with stakeholders to produce highly skilled and innovative human resource. We offer certificate in general agriculture, diploma in entrepreneurial agriculture, diploma in general agriculture, artisan in storekeeping, certificate in computerized secretarial, certificate in supply chain management, certified in information studies, certified public accountant, diploma in accounting, diploma in supply chain management, certificate in ICT, diploma in ICT, certificate in welding and fabrication, diploma in welding and fabrication, certificate in hairdressing and beauty, diploma in fashion design and clothing, certificate in fashion design and clothing, among many. Kongoni Technical and Vocational College is located in Likuyani Sub-County of Kakamega County, next to Likuyani Sub-County headquarters along Kitale Eldoret Road. For more information, contact us on 0721927458 or 0712114908. You can also send your application to PO Box 4530-205 Matunda or write to us on email to kongonitvc@gmail.com. Kongoni Technical and Vocational College, technology and innovation to meet societal needs. Engage with us on Facebook and YouTube, Maisha Television Kenya, Instagram and Twitter at Maisha TVKE.
Let me tell you, when they give you a very good deal, okay, look for the hidden charges.
Yeah.
Period. Forget about the figures that you're seeing. Just look for the hidden charges. It is his prerogative to have a conversation with chiefs and sub-chiefs. It's just, so if you ask him not to have a close relationship with them, it's like asking a doctor not to speak to nurses.
The big question is, are women experiencing gender inequality? The male counterparts are being treated, so it's okay. Women have really been discriminated.
Tobias Hissa is my name. I'm the principal of Bungoma DB School.
The principal of Shibanga Mixed Secondary School.
Ni mwalimu mkuu wa shule ya watoto walemavu ya Nalonga.
Dr. Godfrey Murunga, the fourth principal of Kisiwa DTI.
I'm Zadok Munala, the manager for Kaimosi Friends Vocational Training Center.
This is Bushangala Secondary School.
Maisha TV, the Kenyan channel pushing information to Kenyan viewers through digital television platforms.
Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
News.
Thank you for choosing Maisha Television for this broadcast.
Information.
Classes were in a poor condition.
Cultural programming. Coming to you through all major broadcasting platforms. Special in-depth coverage from around Kenya. Exclusive reporting from all across Kenya and the continent. Maisha TV presents high-class programming, engaging talk shows from our studios and outside broadcasting on a wide range of issues with trending perspectives.
I'm really asking our guys who are behind the camera to look for that clip and then play that clip.
Telling Kenyan stories you won't hear elsewhere.
The most wicked sight in my life is to see his tongue hanging almost up to here.
Tangu corona ianze mwezi wa 3 tumekuwa na changamoto mingi.
Watching stimulating debates on a hot seat.
I guess. Wait, I don't know. Wait. Let me tell you about the
No. The latest happenings from around you on Maisha Prime. The Prime Talk shows connects us with realities of life. Hivi sasa, looking at your everyday life.
Wazazi wameweza kuwapa uhuru watoto wao na ndiposa
and local business, finance and investment.
Some levels of smuggling of sugar.
Maisha TV digital platform engages users everywhere through multimedia approach technology. The Maisha Television digital platform, your local and continental channel platform where you choose it, watch it and love it.
Welcome back. You're watching Maisha Prime News, and now let's shift focus to our education segment. In 2017, Kenya's education was rated as the strongest in Africa by the World Economic Forum. This is due to its standard as compared to other education systems in the continent. The government has spent much on the education for the betterment of the sector in the provision of leadership, direction and coordination. The senior principal, Mr. Dishon Shundu, has focused on improving and maintaining the effective of educational programs at St. Peter's Atterite Secondary School, which is located in Teso South Sub-County of Busia County.
To St. Peter's Atterite, my name is Mr. Dishon Shundu, the senior principal at St. Peter's Atterite. I joined this school in the year 2018, having been delocalized or nationalized from St. Stephen's Chasala in Butere sub-county of Kakamega County. I'm doing my 3rd year and 8th month in this school. St. Peter's Atterite is a mixed day sub-county school, which is located in Teso South sub-county of Busia County, Western region. It has a total enrollment of 896 students, and it is a 6-stream school. Over the last 3.5 years, St. Peter's Atterite has gone through some tremendous growth in various aspects of school growth.
Since he took the office in 2018, Mr. Shiundu has provided a strategic plan which has seen the school make strides in academic as celebrated by Atterite fraternity.
Academically, we also not left behind. We've had a steady growth in academic. From the year 2018 at a mean of 4.28, over time into 2021, we got a mean of 5.01. And that is enshrined in our school strategic plan, that every year we have a target of moving at least with a 0.5. For this year, we are targeting to have a mean of 6.0. And we will have a zealous student populace who we know very well, steered by a very able working and teaching staff. We shall be able to make that achievement.
Atterite Secondary School is known as the home of talents, following the birth of vibrant, talented citizens in the society in his tenure.
We engage in a variety of corporate social responsibility services. Every once in a year, we mark a community service day, where we reach out to the community as a way of giving back to the community. We are able to engage in cleaning. We are able to visit hospitals, and we are able to share with the sick, give them some goodies, pray with them. We are able to identify needy homes, people who are in distress, visit them, and we are able to give them at least something that can be able to give them hope for the other day. In sports, we are also not left behind. Our school does pretty well. For example, in this year, 2022, our girls handball team was able to qualify for the county games, where they were able to finish 5th overall out of the 7 sub-counties. And we know because of COVID-19, we do not have much time to practice. But going forward, we are sure that our girls and boys can be able to get time to be able to practice well and give us a better achievement.
Mr. Shiundu has changed the face of the school by constructing modern structures in the facility.
Having come in when the school was at 3 streams, and with a population of 600, it has made us to, over time, come up with an initiative through a strategic plan that we launched in the year 2019 to come up with improved infrastructure, which has seen us construct 6 more classrooms to be able to take care of the growing population. We have had a very serious challenge, and which is not unique to this school in this land, of water. When I came in 2019, we had a challenge of spending almost around 15,000 shillings a week to ensure that our students were well served with water for their drinking and making of their meals. In the year 2021, as a board of management, we were able to drill water, which costed us around 850,000. And we installed a pump, and right now the school is self-reliant in terms of water. We were also able to build 2 blocks of modern toilets for girls, exhaustible toilets, which each block having 6 doors for the girls. We did the school rebranding. I think when you look at St. Peter's Atterite, it has its own face from the gate into the school. We've taken time to ensure that we're branding it, we customize it according to our school colors, and even we make sure that anything that has a label of St. Peter's Atterite has that particular corporate color. We draw students from across Chapel zone of Teso South. Being a day school, we cannot be able to get students from very far. And by this, we also ensure that our students are given some unique attention. We give our students meals, 3 meals in a day. We serve them with breakfast, we serve them with tea at 10, and we serve them at lunch with a meal at lunchtime.
He has promised to keep St. Peter's Atterite Secondary School splint burning forever, especially in the coming KCSE examinations.
Whether you join us in the mid-course or you join us at the time the son or daughter is joining Form 1, let us embrace the changes that there are in this school. Hata ukanitoa hapo ukanipeleka kaskazini mashariki, northeastern, I'll still give my best, because I always believe my service not to human beings but a service to God. Nataka kuangazia katika miaka 3 na miezi 8 ambayo nimekuwa hapa kama kinara wa shule hii tajika, na huwa najivunia kuwa mwalimu mkuu wa shule hii. And maybe to the casting doubt people, St. Monica Chakol and St. Paul's are extra county schools. St. Mary Samkura is a county school. 3 of them are all boarding. Lakini sasa sisi tukakuja baada ya hao. So we take pride in that, and that's why I say in Atterite we believe in uniqueness. Kwa hivyo unapopata hicho kibandiko kwamba wewe ni mzazi au mwanafunzi wa Atterite, we want to believe in that uniqueness, because we are not competing with anybody else. And that is why every other time I take pride in saying St. Peter's Atterite is the 10th planet that was not created by God.